There's many ways to tell stories, and you learn lessons from those stories, valuable lessons. And that's how you teach children from one generation to the next. I'm just in awe thinking about the thousands of years that my ancestors have been walking on the same lands that I've been walking on. You know, it gives me a sense of place, you know, gives me a sense of where I stand in history as well. Our creation story is of Sky Woman falling, and all the animals below aid her in her flight down. And out of respect and gratitude, she uses the dirt that they bring back up to cover the back of a turtle to create the Turtle Island that we live on today. And she shares those seeds from the sky world. And that's how we got all these beautiful plants and trees and things that we have today. So it brings me to the power of living beings, living things, trees, plants, and such. You could learn so much just by observing and watching. You could tell when a storm is coming by the way the animals are behaving. Like, everything is interconnected. Even though they may not speak the same language to each other, you know, they understand the same things. You know, we're so caught up in our own worlds that we're not looking at all of that around us. We're losing an opportunity to help each other, you know, and bring people back together into balance again. They're just worried about their need right now. During the hunger moon, when a season of famine and extreme need was common during the harsh winters in North America, our people told a story of the Wendigo. The legend of the Wendigo, in fact, is one of the oldest manifestations of a taboo to most native societies: cannibalism. It was forbidden to resort to this practice even out of desperation. This dishonorable act, eating human flesh, was a way of invoking the Wendigo and having its spirit possess you. Wendigos are not born, they are made. The Wendigo is a human being who has become a cannibal monster, and its bite will transform its victims into cannibals too. It had a screeching sound that would stop you in your tracks. So they came up with these boarding schools where they would take children from native communities, place them in these boarding schools where they wouldn't see their families until they were 21. As soon as they got there, they would cut their hair, take away their clothing, delice them with kerosene, you know. If they spoke their language, they were beaten. There was rapes, there were murders, there was testing. If a girl went in for an appendicitis, she came out sterilized. Like, you know, and that happened over and over again. Also, separating children from their families was a big issue as well. Once again, the more you separate the next generation from the land, the quicker you could steal the land. So those children, for sometimes no reason at all, were taken from their families and put into non-native foster homes. It is said that the Wendigo grows each time it eats. I was 7. It could be 10 feet tall. We were raised with my grandmother my entire life. That was our home, that was our address. With frost, white hair. My mother, as an activist, got arrested. Its arms are like tree trunks. She was on that list of activists. And its feet as big as snowshoes. One step over the line and they, you know, giving it the ability to travel easily during the blizzards of the hunger moon while stalking us. They came and they took my sister away and myself. Its heart is made of ice, and they put us in foster homes. Its breath is hideous. Didn't make any sense. Yellow fangs hang from the mouth. It's not like we were orphans because my mother got arrested. That is raw, where it had chewed off its lips from hunger. Actually bounced from a few stranger families. The more the Wendigo eats, the more ravenous it becomes. It was about a year and a half or so. It is said that the Wendigo will never enter the spirit world and would suffer the eternal pain of need and a hunger never satisfied. So the Native community, banded together and helped get the lawyers and such to get us, put back into my grandmother's home. With each family, I would go to a different church. Everyone, whatever your color, whatever your race, we're all in this together. We are all Americans now, right? And, it exposed me to something that, I'd never been exposed to before. Once again, looking at the positive. A Wendigo was a human whose selfishness has overpowered their self-control to the point that satisfaction is no longer possible. How you got here to be an American, it might be different, but we all share that same common love for this country. So now my life is this blend of Native traditional beliefs and Christianity. And it's what I'm comfortable with. I've taken little bits and pieces of here and there, and, that's how I define myself, The Wendigo is still alive and is part of our society today. Some people were here since time immemorial, like my ancestors. Multi-international corporations have spawned a new breed of Wendigo. Others came here escaping horrible conditions someplace else, wanting to start a new life for themselves and their families that insatiably devours the Earth's natural resources, not for need, but for greed. And it was no Disney cruise to get over here. It took a lot of courage and faith and, resilience to survive those journeys. And then there's other people that came here against their will, being used as slaves, never to see their homelands again. The Wendigo is alive today. Our people sometimes perform a ceremonial dance during times of famine to reinforce the seriousness of the Wendigo taboo. Think about it. The trees, the plants, the animals, the fish, the bugs, they were all here before us. We're the newcomers. The ceremony involved wearing a mask and dancing backwards around a drum. We are not more important than anything else, that we are equal and we need to find our place in that web. Perhaps it is time for us humans to take some steps backwards, and each and every living thing can teach you a lesson in order to restore balance in Mother Earth once again. We have to take care of everyone in order to also take care of ourselves. And that includes the animal people, the plants, the trees, the land. We have to take care of it all so it can take care of us.